So the video I'm making today is for lesson 6, and what we've got going on here is we are taking out, thinking about greater than, less than, or equal to. As far as remembering which is which, so this right here, this little piece, this little point right here, is much smaller than this whole opening right here, right? And so this right here points to the smaller, and this is much bigger in space, so it points to larger. So it's bigger itself, so it goes towards that which is bigger also. So when we take a look at these numbers, we want to think about our place value system. I'm going to see if I can draw this and fit it over here. If I can't, I've got a bigger one in another spot. So we know that this is going to be the thousandths. And I'm saying, see, here's that other big one that I made. So it looks like that's probably what we should use anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and put the numbers in there. We've got 1, 6, 4, 5, 16. So we know that the 6 is in the ones place, the 1 is in the tens place, and then we had a decimal, and then 45 hundredths. And then the other one had the same numbers except that it ended, over here you can see that it ends in a 4 in the thousandths place. So we can kind of make them so that we can compare them to each other. 1, 6, 4, 5, and then there's a 4 over here. So what's over here? Nothing in this case. So when we compare them, 1 and 1 are equal, 6 and 6 are equal, 4 and 4 are also equal, 5 and 5 are equal, but 4 is larger than 0 in this case. So when we go to think about which one's bigger, this one right here, because that 4 extra thousandths means that that one is larger. Now, these ones are kind of fun because you could just read them out loud. The 3 is in the hundredths place, because here's your decimal, here's the tenths place, here's the hundredths place. So I could read this 83 hundredths. And it's funny because when you read fractions, you end up saying, in this case, the exact same thing. 83, and what is it? It's hundredths. Those are equal to each other then. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one, because this one's a little bit more complicated. So we've got a match, our 9 and our 5, our 9 and our 5, but then you see this one right here, that there are no tenths in this case, but there happens to be 5 tenths in that case. So therefore that one must be worth more. One way to look at it is like money. This is $95, so is this. And this is, because we don't have thousands when we talk about money, this is 4 pennies. And this is 54 pennies. So it's also too bigger when you look at it that way. This one can be kind of tricky because you might be thinking, well, wait a second. I have 10 or I have 99. But do you really? Not really. Let's get a different color here so we can get more exciting. This is the tenths place right here. And that says that we have 1/10. This one right here says we have no tenths. And otherwise the 419 and the 419, that matches. But if you've got some tenths and no tenths, that means this one is definitely bigger, going that way. Now let's take a look at some with the words. 104, 104, and then we've been using and as a decimal. And this one says 12 hundredths. So I make a 12 and I see that the 2, yep, it's in the hundredths place, so that one's right. Now we say, here's our 104 again, here's our and this one says 2 thousandths. So that means that there's nothing in the tenths, nothing in the hundredths, but there's a 2 in the thousandths place. And so like if you had a sandwich and you broke it into hundredths, so it's 100 pieces, you could have a choice. You can have 12 of those out of 100 pieces of sandwich. So those are pretty tiny, I know. But look over here. This sandwich got broken to 1,000 pieces. And out of those 1,000 equal pieces, you could have 2 of those. Or you could have 12 out of the 100. I would have to say that that sandwich is bigger, those pieces, what you're going to get. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this idea of putting them in what's called increasing order. Meaning you're going to start with the smallest and then just get bigger. So that example that we just did, remember that one? Where we had 0, 0, 2? This one right over here? There was no tenths or no hundredths. This one's the same kind of thing. There's no tenths, there's no hundredths. These ones, here's something with the hundredths. Here's some hundredths, here's some hundredths. So this one's the smallest. That's where we're starting. 8 and 8 is in the thousandths place. Not the thousands place, because that's going to be way over here somewhere. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. This is thousandths, meaning it's broken into smaller pieces. It's not even a whole. Now we'll look at the next one. And we can see that this one had no hundredths. So we'll look at the hundredths next. Here's 9 hundredths. This one's 8 in the hundredths place. So you could make, to help you out, you can make a 0 here. And this is 90 thousandths. This is 81 thousandths. So 81 thousandths is going to be smaller than 90 thousandths, right? So here we go, 8 and 81 thousandths, because there's an 8 in the hundredths place. This is a 9 in the hundredths place. Oh, wait a second. This is 8 and nothing in the thousandths place, which is smaller than this, isn't it? Let's cheat. Turn our 1 into a 0. So here we've got 80, 81, and 90. So 81 is next. Here's 8 and 81 thousandths. And then we go to the next one, and this is 8 and 90 thousandths. Let's go to the next one. So all of these start with 14, and then we can see this is 200, 204, 210, and 240. So that's exactly what we're going to put them in order. Here's your 14, and your 200. Here's your 14, your and your 204. Here's your 14, here's your and then we had 14 last, or 4, 204. Now we're at 210, and then our last one, here's your 14, your and here's 240. So, what you've got for homework today, take a look here. Here's that little chart I made. I'm going to ask you to show the numbers on the place value chart using digits, meaning numbers. This means put the numbers. So the first thing you got to do, numbers, numbers, that would be really messed up, numbers. Use greater than, less than, or equal to compare, and then explain your thinking off to the side. So you're going to have some thinking going on over here, which probably is just like a sentence. So you want to make this chart right here. Make that chart, put these numbers, this one, in the chart, put this one in the chart, and then let me know which one is bigger than which. And then tell me why you think that. Got that? Excellent. See you tomorrow.